Zombieland Saga! What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at another anime. I'm gonna be honest, when I took a look at Zombieland Saga, I didn't know there was 2 seasons. I did not know there was 2 seasons of this show. I'm gonna be completely honest with you here. When I looked at Zombieland Saga, I didn't know there was 2 seasons, but there is. And the second one is called Zombieland Saga Revenge. And it's under a different fucking title name, so I didn't see it when I was watching the first one. It had a different title, so it didn't have them next to each other or in the same list when I was watching the first one. And that upsets me, because it's had a slightly different title. I couldn't just go straight into the second season, and it's taken me this long to find out and watch it. So, Zombieland Saga Revenge, it's pretty cool, not gonna lie. I actually quite like this one. But without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say and take a look at Zombieland Saga Revenge. So, it is a second season of a horror anime, and I do believe it came out in 2021, so fairly recent, to be fair. And you can watch it on Crunchyroll or Amazon Prime. So, how this second season goes is with their first big concert gets absolutely, no people, no hype. There is a very small crowd, they freak out, and it puts them into a load of debt. So they all have part-time jobs or full-time jobs where they go and try and earn some money. And they try and get some money to clear their debt, and their sort of manager has a drinking problem, so he's putting them into even more debt and isn't really helping out. So they had to learn how to do their own makeup, how to help each other out, get their own jobs, and go out and fend for themselves in this world. They don't need to eat or drink or sleep because they're zombies. They don't need that. So they're working all the time to get as much money as they can to clear this debt, because obviously the longer you wait to clear debt, the bigger it gets because of interest and interest rates fluctuating. So the first couple of episodes follow them doing their jobs and slowly trying to balance being an idol at the same time, because they go back to the first place they ever performed and they start to bomb, but then a fight breaks out and they continue to perform whilst they're fighting. And I'm gonna be honest, it looked fucking sick. The animation here was fucking incredible, and it just made for a really good end to an episode 1. It got you hooked pretty much instantly. It worked, and I liked it because the manager finally came around and got back to being their manager, and the first show went really well. The second couple of episodes follow like it did in the first season. They follow each one of the members where they have their own problem, and it takes them a couple of episodes to fix it. So we have the blonde one, the angry, aggressive one, being quite upset that a radio show that she likes is ending, so she goes and does it, which gives them more press, gives them more viewership, more sort of screen time in the public eye. So they basically, get a radio show, because they take over the radio show. We then have idol group, which the main girl was in last time before she died, tried to recruit her into her idol group, and the white-haired girl not liking that, being upset that she's going to leave and they're going to be one person down, and they throw another show and she joins in. They get extremely happy, and her worries are sort of answered and justified and talked about. The next one kind of throws you through a fucking loop, because episode 6 and 7, I had to double check if I was watching the same fucking show, because it takes us back to ancient Saga and it gives backstory on one of the older girls, the oldest girl, who was a shrine maiden. And what the fuck? Because every one of these seems to be reincarnated. This seems to be a reincarnate story. They're trying to reform Saga in this ancient area, and they're doing it very badly. They start a war, but they end up managing to work it out in the end, and again, just felt like a completely different anime for 2 episodes. So it's no singing, no dancing, and it was all very ancient Japan, and that was it was cool, but it felt like a different anime, and I didn't really like those 2 episodes because it just felt so out of place, and it didn't even feel answered within the next 3 episodes after that, because the Tai, which is number 0, the zombie, which is technically still a zombie and hasn't regained her original consciousness, which I felt like she did at the end of season 1. I could just be misremembering, but I felt like she did get her consciousness back at the end of season 1. So I don't know where this really takes place, but okay. And she wins a dance competition, then gambles the money and earns all of it back, so they're now out of debt. And the manager comes back and is like, hey, you're gonna perform here. The news reporter finds out that they're zombies, and they perform because of, like, they're doing a charity event because a natural disaster happens of a tidal wave. An old man is going crazy saying, like, Japan is gonna fall, Saga is gonna fall, and then they do a massive concert. It's really fucking cool. Everyone's happy, everyone's spirits are lifted from the natural disaster, and in the last 30 seconds, an alien spaceship comes and blows up Saga. I'm gonna be honest, this season was really good. Other than those 2 episodes and the last 30 seconds, I think it was a fucking banger, because it didn't need to waste any time at the start of this season setting up the characters again. It got straight into the story, straight into how they bombed on their last event, and that they needed jobs. It threw us into what they were doing, threw us back into the story pretty quickly, and gave us a quick catch-up, quick refresh. We were sort of seeing everyone again, and they were building their idol group back up, which I do feel is quite lazy for a second season, because they're just doing the same thing that they did in the first one. Because in the first one, they're building a name for themselves, and in the second one, they're going to rebuild their name for themselves. I'm about to make a name for myself, yeah. They're just making a name for themselves again in the second one, so it kind of feels lackluster, very similar, very the same, but it does change the way in which it does it, and it does try and involve an ancient prophecy about Saga getting destroyed every couple of years, and the natural disaster event was supposed to be stopped by this concert, because of these girls. Like, he's been saying the entire time, Saga needs to be saved. Saga's gonna be saved. We're gonna save Saga and get it back on the map. But every time it comes back on the map, something goes wrong and it gets destroyed again. And they tried to do like a mirror story with the characters which we see here trying to fight for Saga back in ancient Japan. And they tried to do a mirror story, but then they completely fucked it by throwing aliens into it right at the end, which I feel like ruined it. It completely ended it there and then. Like, there is going to be no more. They were blown up by an alien laser beam. There is nothing else that they can do with this series. It is done. They're gone. They were fucking blasted off the face of the planet. Because I'm going to be honest, I was scrolling on my phone because they were just doing a concert. Yes, it's very pretty. It gave me goosebumps. The first concert that they did made me cry, so it gave me the emotions. I was on the emotional roller coaster for this. But I picked up my phone, and then I heard a giant explosion, and I looked up, and I fucking missed it, because it was 30 seconds. It was blink and you miss it moment. I literally just went on my phone, because I got a text message to be like, get on Fortnite, and I was like, I will do, just gonna finish this episode. And I was like, hold the fucking phone. Did they all just die? I rewound it 30 fucking seconds to see an alien spaceship flying over Japan and shooting a nuclear beam to Earth. I was here for this. I was here. I like this anime. This is a good anime. I really do enjoy, like, these singing animes, these idol animes. I don't know why. I like the bright colors. I like the songs. The songs in this was really fucking cool. I was jamming, because every 2 episodes, we got a song. We got them performing on stage, and I like the bright colors, and I'm gonna also be going to a concert very soon, a Sabrina Carpenter concert. But I'm going to go to a concert soon, so I watched this to get ready for it, you know, get hype and get excited for it. And then they completely ruined it. I feel like the last 30 seconds of this anime, where the alien spaceship comes in and destroys them all, absolutely ruins the anime. It tried to, like, demolish Saga, and I'm like, cool, but why? Cool, but why? Why did that have to happen? There is no story reason that had to happen. You could have ended it really nicely with the way you did end it, with them all finishing on stage, having a grand old time, getting their popularity back, everyone having fun. The spirits have been raised from the natural disaster that has recently just happened. Everyone was ending on a good high note, and then you just go and explode it all. I don't understand the thought process there. I just don't get why you would do that. The story ended so nicely. The characters had their development. They learned to accept themselves as zombies. They learned to be zombies, and they learned that their fans loved them. They learned that they didn't need to hide who they were anymore. They could be zombies and just, you know, have fun. They learned that they didn't do, like, this for money. They were doing it because they wanted to help Saga. They wanted to bring happiness, wanted to bring joy to everyone's lives. They learned a lot of lessons in this anime. It is a really meaningful anime. Learning to accept yourself, learning to, like, obviously not do something in hopes for a reward. Be selfless. Just help because you can. Again, the Spider-Man one. You know, great responsibility. Great power comes with great responsibility. They're doing this because they want to bring help, want to bring happiness to Saga. They want to put smiles on people's faces. And that's a great message. It's a great anime. Flawless animation. Voice acting's really good as well. And the main character does look like they're from Quintessential Quintuplets, I will admit. But I knew I saw her before. I'm going to be honest, when I was watching the first season of this, I was like, I've seen you before. But the ending fucking sucked, and if I could take away that ending, it would be a 9 out of 10. But that ending fucking sucked and really pissed me off and left me with a bad taste in my mouth from this anime, so I can't give it any higher than a 6. It's no higher than a 6.